Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, likes, comments, subscriptions, these are all always appreciated as they do indeed help with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market looks good, but a little bit weird. We've had another one of those instances where Bitcoin was trending upwards and then slammed down quite quickly. Not really sure what the cause of it was. We can usually assume it has to do with whales or heavy-handed traders who are trying to move the market down to get other people to move their money out of the market so that they can accumulate at a lower price. Because immediately, I'll show you the chart at some point as well, as Bitcoin's price fell down, about 3.5 minutes later, it moved right back up, but this caused a heavy drop in many other coins. However, the optimism is still there. A lot of the news is floating around that Bitcoin has some type of an options expiration sometime today, Friday. But the issue is that this happens every single Friday. There's always a Bitcoin options, Bitcoin futures, Bitcoin's derivatives, something that is ending on a Friday. And it usually gets thrown into the news as the reason why Bitcoin's price is moving down. This is nonsense. This is not why it's happening. No, because those things are usually, they're not physical Bitcoin anything. They are paper US dollar-based Bitcoin futures. But a lot of the news right now is heavily circulating around Cardano's price. For those of you who missed it yesterday and also at some point during this morning, Cardano broke above $3. I believe it went to $3.10. I don't know the exact amount. It says, here's why price will break $4 in the coming week. We are less than 9 days away from the upgrade taking place. This also happened, and this is part of the reason why people believe we actually moved past $3. It says Cardano has launched their smart contracts on the testnet, and we got news that it was moving from purple to white to green to blue to something like that. So this is the last iteration that they need to make sure that all the last dirt is swept out of the code, or whatever you call code that isn't working too properly. It says Cardano launches smart contracts on testnet, pushing ADA to new heights. We can only assume, if this is what happens when they move it on to the testnet, that logically we would see it happen, or rather very good price appreciation when it actually goes onto the mainnet. There are a lot of people who have very high hopes for Cardano, who are accumulating huge amounts of Cardano, and I still give it, I think the day of, we should see some logical movement, but I give it like a week after, because I'm expecting, if their marketing is the way that it should be, they should be announcing stuff periodically as to what new upgrades are going to be coming to Cardano. But this was very big in the news. Cardano even outshined any Ethereum price news for the moment, as did this. It says Solana flips Dogecoin to become the 7th largest cryptocurrency. I believe Cardano, Solana is up by 25%, I think, at right now. Many other altcoins are up by around 1%, maybe 3%. Bitcoin's drop had a heavy effect on many of the other markets. Bitcoin is also like this close away from actually being completely in the green once again. And it says Bitcoin retests 50,000 resistance, but can the bulls hold on? It has nothing to do with bulls. 0%. There are no animals fighting in the streets over cryptocurrency. It has to do with very wealthy people who are trying to move the market down at their behest, exactly how they wish to do, so that they can accumulate more coins and or make more money. It has nothing to do with any bulls. The bulls are there. We know that we are currently still in a bull market, just based on the actual numbers and usage of the network and transactions going through it, etc. So we will see what the future holds this weekend, at least for Bitcoin's price, as it's always in a literal coin toss, because usually sometimes on the weekends we get very crazy price movements as we move towards Sunday. Sometimes it's completely lull, and by morning Asia time, prices have already skyrocketed as people in the West, if you will, have begun to wake up. So that's all the price news. There was nothing even surrounding Ethereum. I think maybe one or two articles talking about Bitcoin retesting 50,000, but the vast majority was about Cardano passing by $3, heading to $4 or $5 at some point, and the Solana flipping Dogecoin in the market. Yeah. And let's move on. In incredibly large news, not an understatement, the $4 million NFT depicting the original Doge meme is set to be fractionalized into ERC20 tokens and auctioned off in pieces. And there's an ant holding a gavel for some reason. I'm not sure how that thing is able to hold that thing up. The owner of the Shiba Inu, depicted in the beloved meme, Atsuko Sato, sold the Doge NFT for 1,696 Ether, or $4 million in June, to an art-focused, decentralized autonomous organization called Pleaser DAO. Starting from the 1st of September, so this already started taking place, and I'll give you the next update after that. Pleaser DAO will offer exposure to the Doge NFT via a fractionalization that will see the non-fungible token broken down into 16.9 billion ERC20 tokens named $DOG. According to a blog post from Pleaser DAO, 20% of the total DOG supply will be available for purchase initially, with the sale being hosted on open source smart contract platform Miso. So the news is that this NFT was sold for $4 million. It was purchased by, I told you there are tons of companies and organizations who are now buying up NFTs for their portfolio. What happened next was, and what's making all the news right now, it says fractional shares in the Doge NFT have hit a $300 million valuation. I find things like this not funny, but it's kind of like that guy sold his NFT for $4 million. And now the fractionalized version of his NFT is valued at $300 million, which essentially means that what he held was also 300. See where I'm kind of talking about? It's kind of like, for those of you who have never, there are a lot of examples like this. There's a book called I Sold Andy Warhol ... too soon, or something like that. It's basically this guy who got a Warhol. I'm pretty sure I must have told this story. I have, few stories. Told this story a while ago on the channel. The guy basically knew Warhol in the 80s, purchased a Warhol from him, a piece from Warhol, and at some point in the 90s was like, I'm going to sell it. And I think he sold it for like $600,000. And he said he was curious to see what the after resale was going to be. So I think he went to an auction, and I think the piece sold for, I think, $1.4 million. And he was like, woof, well, at least I made, my six figures from it. I think the piece went back on sale a couple of years later, and I think it resold for like $7 million. And the guy realized, he was like, well, I'm still happy with what I made. And I think by the time the book came out, the piece had recently resold for $22 million. So it's kind of in that same exact, area, if you will. I think a portion of these have already been purchased. And the auction launched on Wednesday has raised a total of more than $45 million from 1,796 buyers. So I'm just going to assume that we are going to see a $1 billion valuation for this at some point. The market is very fascinating in more ways than one, as you can probably tell, but I think everyone's trying to smooth out and see exactly how far this is going to go. But if this is any indication, I think NFTs are definitely here to stay, just based off of complete logic. So this is also very popular news. I didn't have the other 10 tabs up here because I just assumed one would suffice. Anyway, that's the Dogecoin NFT news, and I assume this is the image. I'm going to assume this is the actual image. So, at least he made $4 million from it. All right. Let's move on. Next up, also in popular news, I don't really know. The Japanese financial giant known as SBI is set to merge its crypto exchanges Taotao and SBI VC Trade, a move that will create a new Asian heavyweight exchange that could challenge market leaders like Bitflyer. SBI traditionally has focused on the banking and security sector, but in recent years, it has embraced crypto with almost unparalleled fervor. Its CEO is a Ripple board member, and the company co-runs the SBI Ripple Asia Payments project. The firm has also set up several international crypto mining projects under the SBI Crypto umbrella. So SBI, for those of you who don't know, is a major, they still are a major name, but they were quite popular in the cryptocurrency space in end of 2017, 2018, maybe the beginning of 2019, when everyone believed that the market was going to move back up quite quickly. Around that time, they had many announcements, with the guy on the screen right there basically announcing that he expected XRP to go up to $10, and price movements and all these other things that were going to happen, and integration and the launch of their own cryptocurrency exchange. So I think even within Japan, there's a very finite amount of companies who are legally allowed to actually do any type of business there. And SBI has been granted, I guess, all the different kinds of paperwork that you can possibly get there. So they're trying to continue, take over more of the market, what have you. But a lot of people get very excited by them or about them because they are, at least to our knowledge, very XRP focused, as this guy on the screen is once again also a board member of Ripple. Attached to that news as well, it says Japanese financial conglomerate SBI Holdings is reportedly planning to set up one of the first funds in the country giving investors exposure to crypto. According to a Thursday Bloomberg report, SBI is aiming to have a crypto fund available by the end of November, which will offer residents of Japan the opportunity, and that's very important as well, the residents of Japan the opportunity to invest in Bitcoin, Ether, Bcash, Litecoin, XRP, and others. I'm going to assume any other coin that remains in the top 10 would probably also be in this fund as well. This is, and the reason why the word Japan is important is because a lot of regulators around the world are for some reason still stuck in the year 1941. Not a joke. They're simply used to the idea that something has to be located within their digital fake lines on a map that don't really exist in order for it to be legal or people in their country to be allowed to actually access it. So the fact that there are, remember the news that we had 2 or 3 weeks ago when Cardano was finally able to be listed in Japan, and why it was such a big deal? It's because regulators there only want certain coins to be available to their citizens. So when you have a regulated fund that is only allowed for people within Japan, there's not going to be 300 of them. There may be only going to be 2, 3, or 4 of them. SBI is such a big name, people will find confidence in them and say, hey, I've been looking to invest in cryptocurrencies, but I only have access to 3 different funds. I have an SBI bank account, therefore let me use SBI, and their other friends will kind of join suit as well. This also it's ETF-esque in this kind of way, in that they're investing directly in the cryptocurrencies. The people will have direct access, or what's the word? Not compliance, exposure to these cryptocurrencies as well, and therefore we'll be able to see the price movements of these coins based off of people in Japan only having access to these actual coins. That was a very long paragraph. I was expecting to only have it be a sentence, but alas, here we are. So that's also going to be very big as well in the future. I think it's also quite fascinating to see what has remained in the market and kind of like what has solidified itself as a coin that's constantly being offered to different clients. There's always going to be Bitcoin and Ether, but the Litecoin and XRP actually staying around is also quite interesting. And I think we still have not seen a proper solidification of a top 10. I think it'll take a couple of years because I'm expecting more movement in the market for coins and what becomes popular and things like that. But we are very close to seeing, not the finality, at least the next decade of what the top coins will be within the market. So yeah, they are going to be merging crypto exchanges, and they're going to be launching a crypto exposure fund, which leads me to believe, assumption, SBI probably has a huge amount of crypto themselves, because you don't offer exposure to something if you don't already have it yourself. All right, that's SBI news. And let's move on. Also, popular in the news, Coinbase has announced that customers in the United Kingdom and Germany will be able to stake Ethereum and earn rewards. In addition to the new feature, Coinbase has removed the requirement to hold a balance of 32 Ether, valued at $121,000 at the time of writing, and the expertise needed to operate the ETH2 client software. Staking will be handled via Coinbase's upgraded Ethereum to ETH2 network, according to their website. They said the upgrade aims to improve the network's security and scalability and involves Ethereum shifting their current mining model to a staking model, and they're offering a 5% interest rate. I would look into that yourself to see if that's the actual number. Coinbase is known to have very high fees. They had, this was about a year ago, there was an article floating around and people were like, what? Where they had a 25% fee for one of the things that they were offering. And at the same exact time, Binance and Kraken and other places had like a 1% fee. So the smooth 5% interest makes me believe that's not the actual number, and Coinbase is definitely taking some off the top. They said purchasing Ethereum, we believe that. And simplifying staking, which is very complex to do individually, we can play a role in widening access to the large part. And they said users in Germany will be able to earn rewards as well. After being converted from ETH to ETH2, the coins are automatically added to Coinbase's staking pool, which helps secure the blockchain and generate rewards in return. Quite cool. Coinbase is one of the easiest platforms for people to use. It is very standard. It is very basic. If you've ever used Coinbase, there's like 5 buttons, and that's basically all you get. So for a lot of newcomers, this is what they choose to do. I think the removing the 32 Ether mandate is kind of, they should have done that a while ago. As far as many other platforms have gotten rid of that, the idea is that once you deposit coins onto their exchange, it basically joins the entire mining pool almost immediately, because very few people have access to 32 Ether. And I assume that will only continue to dwindle as Ethereum's price continues to maybe rise as we go forward in the future. So I like it because it's another way, and I still firmly believe that this is kind of the new money of the future, not only holding the crypto assets, but making that passive income. Just throwing that out there. I've thought that for a while, and I'm pretty sure in the future, as automation continues, people will be making $4,000 to $5,000 per month from their actual passive income investments and not actually getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning. You kind of understand what I'm saying. So cool. Ethereum 2.0 staking rewards are now available for people within the United Kingdom and in Germany. And yeah, let's move on. And to finish things off in a, I don't know, people kind of get really excited whenever these things actually end up taking place. Vitalik was yesterday, it was on Twitter. Basically discussing things with people, how he feels, where he sees the cryptocurrency space going. So in a Thursday Ask Me Anything on Twitter, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin answered some of the crypto community's most important questions, sharing his thoughts on crypto privacy, game theory, protocol design, and what excites him about the future. He basically, for those of you, I'm not reading all of this, he basically said he wishes that he had launched Ethereum slightly differently, and that he hadn't simply closed his eyes, picked people in a room and said, hey, the 8 of us are going to be doing it, because a lot of them have left. I mentioned the whole 8 co-founders thing and choosing them so quickly and non-discriminately. He said because basically it's basically only him and Joseph Lubin who are basically still on Ethereum. Everyone else has kind of left. Gavin Wood, I believe, made Polkadot. Josh Hoskinson made Cardano. This happens all the time, and it happened a lot more years ago. Whenever there was a new cryptocurrency project on the block, or the street, if you will, relative fanfare began to kind of go there. The coin's price went up. A lot of the co-founders of any coin, it's not just Ethereum, basically began to be like, okay, you know what, fine, I'm leaving, because they wanted some type of an upgrade to happen. Nobody else wanted the upgrade to happen. They left and made their own coin. Some found success, others have not. And this is why we have Cardano right now. He mentioned that he was quite shocked that crypto had caught on so quickly, that NFTs had become so popular so quickly. He was expecting 5 or 6 years down the line, but he's quite excited that these things are quite popular right now. And the other really big point to be made, he said, the good news is that I feel like Ethereum depends less on me than it ever did at any previous point in history. Amazing people like Danny Ryan, Drake F. Justin, and all the other names, and many others keep taking on tasks that before I had to do myself. For those of you who weren't here a couple of years ago, this was major news a couple of times. The idea in a proper decentralized space is that there is no leader. It is decentralized. Everyone has a node. Everyone can run the network by themselves, and therefore there isn't one single person who kind of points their finger upward and says, hey, this is what has to happen, which is previously what was taking place before. Vitalik Buterin usually, more than often, as everyone looked up to him. It's the same exact way why Charlie Lee slightly pulled back from the Litecoin thing because every time he tweeted, the price would skyrocket or the price would go up. It's the same. I mean, it happens for every single coin. This is why we see Charles Hoskinson also, like, he's there, but you can tell that he's trying to take more of a backseat position, because you can't have a project succeed if you understand what I'm saying. So at some point, Vitalik Buterin will step down from Ethereum completely and utterly. He mentioned it years ago. He also said it a couple of other times as well when we've gone over this before. When people are not very kind or friendly in the cryptocurrency space. In 2018, he was like, I'm going to leave immediately. Like, I don't have time to actually deal with all of this. But I think in the next 4 to 5 years, we'll probably see him step back completely and Ethereum kind of just build itself, if you will, as developers around the world create things and make proposals on the actual network for things to be upgraded. But yeah, so that's basically all the news. A lot of the news, once again, a hefty portion was once again still focusing just on prices. There was a lot more Cardano price news, but, you know, we've gone over that so many other times. There was also a lot more talking about the Doge thing, and there's another auction house who's going to be doing something with another NFT and, you know, what have you. So, yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Hakeem Williams, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudweiser, Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump, Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Stefan Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shasho, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grollet, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Bitty, Barebones Mining, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Patronasser, Conan, Duska Black Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Suspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stroyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Grayson, Mohamed Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared China, Wise 9, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldie 3D, Damien, Sasuna, Richard III, Vladian, Paler, Paxis, Nick Mangela, Vody, Gem Garden, Jemmy Fox, Minty Coins, Miller, his chest every day. And Kyle Gibbs, Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodemic, Buttface, Anytime in his mouse on a stab, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho, Nisa, All Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who left a like, has commented or left comments, who has subscribed, or is still here listening to me ramble on about this weird cryptocurrency space. At the moment, Bitcoin is down by 1%. That's the movement I was talking about. It was a very quick slam down and then immediately moved right back to where we were before. This happened so many times. But if you read articles around this time frame, they are more than happy to announce that bears have returned or the market has a downturn or what's happening to Bitcoin's price. And it's really funny because you see the articles and then when the price moves back up to where we were before, a lot of these articles get deleted. It's very, very funny. Ethereum is currently up by 1.4%. It is at $3,800. That is absolutely insane. Once again, with the V-shaped movement, Cardano is down by 2%. Binance Coin is down by 1%. Once again, because of Bitcoin's movements in the market. Solana is currently up by 23%. It is at 144 US dollars. It is the largest gainer in the top 10 at the momento. Chainlink is up by 2. Luna is up by 2 as well. Avalanche is up by 16. Tron is up by 5.9%. Maybe it has to do... What was the Tron news that we had yesterday? I don't remember. Maybe it's up because of that. Not really sure. eCash is up by 36%. Sure, why not? Make sure you pay attention to where your money is going. Because that's a $1 million 24-hour trading volume. So, yeah, if you're looking at the screen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Algorand is up by 7%. IOTA is up by 21%. Did we have IOTA news? Like yesterday, like not today. Like, obviously we didn't have it today. Kusama is up by 6%. BitTorrent is up by 14%. There must have been some type of Tron thing that happened yesterday. And Waves is up by 3.3 percentile points. Yeah, I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all have, continue to have, might possibly have, are thinking about having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope, why can't I do, okay, there we go. I was trying to turn on the phone and I couldn't do it. Hope it's absolutely fantastic. Enjoy your Friday. Try to have a quick one. I hope that work goes by quickly for you. Try not to look at the clock, if you will. Make sure to do something fun after if you are able to. Call up some friends, text somebody you haven't seen in a while. It's actually quite fun to do so. I've made sure to do it. Try and reconnect with people. Go out, do something fun. The world is, you know what it's like. You have a TV and the internet. So make sure that you do something that makes you smile today. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.